everyone, it's Nightside again, and welcome back. Today I am here to slightly talk about, well, I wouldn't say slightly, because I'm going to talk about a lot. If you guys caught my, last video I did talking about Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, you may have, if you watched the whole thing, you may have noticed that I mentioned a possible Modern Warfare 3 remake. While I was doing some research on Modern Warfare 3, I saw some rumors that there was a possible Modern Warfare 3 remake or remaster in the works somewhere, by someone. And I actually do believe that the game finally being, well, almost being 10 years old. It turns 10 years old. I feel like Modern Warfare 3 could properly do a remake. Could possibly need a remake. Now, I don't know exactly what this remake is going to consist of, considering the first Modern Warfare Remaster was just a campaign remaster, and then came out with the remastered multiplayer. And then you have the recent Modern Warfare, which was a full rework. Now, if they are reworking Modern Warfare 3 into a remaster or remake, what I would like to see redone, is simply the multiplayer. Mainly the multiplayer and Spec Ops. Let me start simple. Spec Ops. Make it instead of 2v entities, make it 4 kind of like Black Ops Zombies co-op. However, make it 4 players instead of 2. That way odds can be even. And it gives more friends that don't want to play regular multiplayer the ability to team up and test their team skills against entities that constantly get stronger. Speaking of which, what you are seeing is some footage of a Spec Ops round I did on Resistance. Now, for the Spec Ops rework, specifically for survival, make it 4 players. And of course, most people will probably shoot that down and say, it's just going to be zombies, but instead of zombies, it's people that can shoot back at you. But no, it's not just that. It gives a proper challenge. And I know that there's people that can probably survive to like wave 50 or whatever, how high it goes on their own, but what I would like to see is a game mode where someone can get more than one friend in on the co-op action. Cause, I mean, the Black Ops series had it with zombies. So why not bring in that co-op to Modern Warfare? Now, I would say the weapons, keep the weapons. Just keep all the same weapons that were featured in the original Modern Warfare 3. Because there's nothing wrong with them. They all live up to their proper expectations of what that weapon is. I hate like, some weapons are more accurate than most, but, I mean, hey, that's how it's supposed to be. Now, with the actual multiplayer, I feel like giving proper monitoring to multiplayer, especially for possible PC. Because if it were to be released on consoles, people would be all over the game's code trying to create quote-unquote advanced aiming to use as an advantage in multiplayer combat, which is what the current Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer suffers from. It suffers from people that are using aim cheats to get an upper hand and pretty much wipe everybody. I feel like that it's the reason of PC gaming that kill games. But without the PC community, half of the entire gross sum of video game income would be pretty much non-existent. And let's not forget that Modern Warfare 3 raised $175 million in sales. As far as I know, that breaks the Call of Duty record. Sure, it doesn't break the Grand Theft Auto record or anything, but that is quite the record for a Call of Duty franchise game, compared to some other shooters of its type, Battlefield. You would think that its player base isn't really that active. And of course, most of its player base has, since it was mostly children by the time I was playing it, I'm pretty sure most of those people migrated to playing a disgusting game called Fortnite. Which is mainly the reason why Modern Warfare 3 has died out, because of games like Fortnite. Now, of course, now that I've said that, people are going to be getting at me for blaming Fortnite for killing a game that's 10 years old. But no, that is not what I am doing. I am placing the blame on Fortnite because at the time I started playing Modern Warfare 3, like around several years ago, that most of the player base were preteens. And it seems like the Call of Duty franchise is being killed out by Battle Royale games, such as Fortnite. But now, since Call of Duty and Battlefield have started to tune in on the Battle Royale genre with Battle Royale-like game modes, I feel like if Modern Warfare 3 did that, it would bring a player base back, but I also don't want that, because Modern Warfare 3, I would prefer it stay as close to the vanilla as possible. To the original vanilla as possible. Now, with it being a remaster, there are a couple issues. Some graphics may not be better, some may be better, some won't. The gunplay may be slightly different, controls may be a bit different, interface will look different, but in general, I want it to be mainly the same game. But note that, for some reason, Modern Warfare 3 was heavily criticized at its initial release. Because most people said it was just Modern Warfare 2 all over again. But no, these reviews were made within just within like an hour of the game being released. Now, it shouldn't just be a remaster of multiplayer and Spec Ops. Otherwise, you would leave out the entire thing that most people play the single player for. Though, on the other hand, with the lack of original voice actors, it would probably be a bit of a hassle trying to port the original dialogue over to the remastered. But if that would somehow be possible, I would like to see that. Now, note that I haven't played the original Modern Warfare Remastered, but what I would actually like to see is that they do a remake of Modern Warfare 3. Remake the initial Modern Warfare story.
Good work, gentlemen.
But put it all into one game. Which is exactly the point of a remaster. Considering that there's talk of a Modern Warfare 3 remaster and not a Modern Warfare 2 remaster, there's kind of a gap there. So, if you're going to remake the campaign for Modern Warfare 3 Remastered, you might as well go ahead and rewrite and go ahead and double script the original Modern Warfare 3 storyline. I mean, most of the choreography, most of the cartography is already there. And personally, since I have not played Modern Warfare 2, I would personally love to see a game that brings the entire Modern Warfare story into one package on one single disc. And this also brings a lot of advantages. It gives a couple extra hours of gameplay. And with it being all of the Modern Warfare titles, you would expect to see, like, triple the amount of intel you can collect on maps. And personally, I would personally like that challenge. Because finding intel is a good scavenger hunt. And having to find so many, it gives tons of replay value, and gives tons of extra meaning to scavenger hunting and putting in Easter eggs. And with putting in this, there would be tons of familiar maps for multiplayer and Spec Ops, which is why I feel like adding all three games into one package makes for the ultimate Modern Warfare bundle. Instead of playing Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3 separately, you are able to play all three games at the same time, use all of their maps and multiplayer and special ops, as well as probably its own new game mode. Because, personally, I would love to see some sort of new co-op mode. Probably like the missions for Spec Ops, or probably another type of survival. But who knows? I will leave that up to Activision and probably any other studio that they can get into their pocket to assist in the making of this game.
Missile ready for deployment.
Now, regarding, get back to the multiplayer, give the community a community server package. With there being a community server package, it gives the community proper monitoring of the servers and keeping them purged of people who don't deserve to be there. Because if there were community servers for the current version, for the current Modern Warfare 3, which I mentioned this last time, I mentioned this last time. If you give the community control over their own server or servers, that gives the player base tons of leeway for safe matches. And of course, something that would fix multiplayer altogether is the proper balancing. Is that when you have new players compared to veterans, because it's obvious that the veterans are going to skyrocket their ranks. But new players, or returning players that haven't touched a Call of Duty series game in years, you let them play on a community server with other people that are in their skill set, you actually have a revived community.
Predator missile ready for deployment.
And of course, with the community package set, this gives players, it gives players tons of breathing room. They don't have to worry about anyone ruining their fun, and if they have a complaint about a player, they don't have to directly report the player through the worthless in-game report system. Such as, like, official community servers. Such as servers that have an official Discord, or TeamSpeak, or something, you know. Because, in the modern day and age that we live in, it would be a crime for servers like that not to have an official Discord or forum. Because the in-game reporter isn't really that useful. Now, the Microsoft reporter that you use to report people through Xbox Live and stuff, that actually has some use. But I feel like an official forum would actually be a lot better, and since it's a community server, people know who people are.
Predator missile ready for deployment.
People know each other. And with it being a community server with a monitored forum and Discord, it gives the community something to go to. Because hell, even the unreleased Cry of Fear remake has a Discord. There's a Cry of Fear community Discord and the Cry of Fear developer team Discord, which was seen in the unreleased Cry of Fear remake that Andros Ronberg was working on in Source, but he had to cancel it and move the project to Unreal. If you guys ever want to learn about that, just look up Cry of Fear remake on Google, and it should be like the first couple of results. But anyway, I would really consider making a community package for the Modern Warfare 3 Remaster. And once again, just to give a small synopsis of the story of what I would like. Let's start with campaign. A fully remastered campaign of the original Modern Warfare trilogy. Basically, the stories of Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3 in one game. It'll give tons of hours of gameplay, tons of hours of replay value for those that are completionists. It'll give tons of new multiplayer maps. Well, tons of new familiar multiplayer maps with reimagined graphics and probably reimagined play area. Because with all the new things that are being made for remasters, it would kind of be a shame to see some classic Call of Duty maps retain their small size. I would personally love to see some Modern Warfare 3 maps with an increased play area. A revamped Special Ops survival where it can consist of 4 players instead of the usual 2. That way a group of 4 friends can properly be a small strike team. with the increased play area. It gives tons of more breathing room. It gives a lot of new gives tons of better combat area. So I will say that that's pretty much my wish list for Modern Warfare, the Modern Warfare 3 remaster, as well as a couple other things that I wanted to touch on that would probably make Modern Warfare 3 a much better game than its original. I will say that if you guys haven't seen the video I did before this talking about Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer, I would recommend that you go see that. It will be in the description. And it will also be in, well, I wouldn't say it won't, I would say it's in a playlist, but probably, no one probably pays attention to that playlist after they see the video. So, just go ahead and, check out everything else I did. I'm still working on the Modern Warfare 3 campaign, and a couple other things, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And as usual, stay on the night side, guys. Peace out.